Shit. Oh, well, all mistakes are, I don't know. They count as part of the path. We'll just take it that way. Anyway, hello, I'm Zube, and I'm going to be doing a random collective reading. All of my readings are timeless, and these are general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. If you happen to be watching this around January 18th in the evening, we are coming up this weekend on the Sun conjunct Pluto. It's kind of a big energy, and they're both going to move together into the sign of Aquarius. And we might be feeling that, like Sun conjunct Pluto is like things may just be feeling intense. There could be a high power struggles are highlighted. Pluto is like things coming out of the shadows, just like a complete, it can be destruction for the purpose of rebuilding. Anyway, if you're interested in a personal reading, astrology or tarot, my information is down below. It is teresazube.com. And I'll tell a little Pluto story so you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I was supposed to get married on February 22nd of 2022. At the time, I knew that the sun would be coming within like a tiny, it was like within a degree of being opposite my natal sun. That's how you do predictive astrology. So we picked it because it was 2/2/2022, and it's our second marriage, but my husband liked it. And when I looked at my chart, I was like, oh shit, like, well, what is Pluto gonna have in store for me? And I'm like, all right, well, I'll adjust the time of the wedding and all that and put Pluto in like an okay house, because that alignment was going to be there the whole fucking year. And we really wanted it, like astrologically in other ways, it looked good for me. So I'm like, I'll put it in an area of our wedding chart where it'll be like, okay, we'll just overcome big things in that area. Anyway, a few days before my wedding, my brother died. And the crazy thing is, Pluto was in the house that rules like faraway travel and religion and all of that. And then it was across from my son, and my son is in the third house, which rules, among other things, siblings. And I've always had a really close relationship. I adore my siblings. So anyway, my wedding was canceled. I can laugh about this now because anyway, because my brother, like, he got married right after 9/11. His wedding anniversary was September 15th of 2001. And they almost canceled their wedding. So I got married, but we canceled the wedding ceremony because I had to fly home for the funeral and everything. Anyway, that's the kind of shit Pluto will do. It won't always be death. That was the last thing on my mind. I'm kind of saying I don't ever want to know in somebody's chart, like when there's going to be death. But there was something else that I was thinking about that I might ramble in this reading, but I had read a meme that it's like, I always say you really can't take a wrong turn. Like you'll end up where you're destined and fated to end up. But the first thing I did after my brother died was I pulled out his chart and I looked at it, and he was going through some crazy shit. And it's not like I would have looked at his chart and been like, yo, you might die. I mean, thank God I don't see shit like that in people's charts. Who would want to? I guess maybe some Vedic astrologers can, but I really wouldn't want to know. But anyway, so there's this thing to me where I do feel that we almost like check out our chart, and that's like our kind of a layout for the things that we're going to go through in life. So it makes me feel better, even if nothing in my life is making any fucking sense. When I look at a chart and I imagine myself being in another dimension, like, yeah, I'm going for that shit. It just, because then I can be like, well, I guess I picked it. And that's like, that's what I'm going to say. But as far as this Sun conjunct Pluto, it's really only going to be kind of intense if it's directly hitting you, but it's for sure in the air. I mean, there may be like exposure, secrets coming out or something like that. So there's just a high intensity going on right now. People might be really secretive or really imploring and like investigative. It's just intense. So I wanted to pull a few cards and see what we got for what is in the air. And if you're watching this like months down the road or whatever, and maybe you're feeling that regardless. So, but if you're born at the end of Aries, at the end of Cancer, at the end of Libra, or at the end of Capricorn, or the beginning of Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and fixed Taurus, like right at the very end, or I'm talking last day, first day of those signs, you might kind of be feeling a little something. Anyway, otherwise you could just be feeling it regardless, and that's why you're here. Or you could have just landed here and you're like, fuck you, lady, what are you talking about? In which case you don't have to stay. So for our internal energies, 6 of Cups, that one's interesting. That's like reminiscing about the past memories, feeling good about our childhood, or like looking back, and it can be kind of glossing over the past. But there's definitely something here about connecting with our innocence, with our inner child. Memories that feel sweet and good. And that may not be what we're doing, but maybe that's what we should or could be doing, is just reflecting on how far we've come. Maybe we're looking back over like our long lifespan. Wow. Okay. So anyway, yeah, so the 6 of Cups, that's internal. And then we got the Death card in front of us. And this is fucking Pluto. I mean, that's Plutonian energy. 13. That's the card for Scorpio. I don't believe Pluto rules Scorpio. Mars rules Scorpio. I'm not a modern astrologer, but anywho, and the Empress. Okay. So we got the Death card and the Empress. The Empress is giving birth to something new, and the Death card is like something ending. So there's that in the air. I mean, it makes me literally think of like the sun, which is your soul expression. It's the light, the luminary in the solar system. And that's like the Empress card. She's like creating life, the life, whether it's the life of a business or your life or something like that. And then the Death card, but they came out with death in front. I'm also kind of chuckling because I feel like my brother is saying hi. I get the 6 of Cups for him sometimes because that's childhood memories, and I was just talking about him dying. Hi, Eric. Anyway, now I just have a cat named Eric. In the God spot, 2 of Cups, relationships, connecting to others. Okay, so maybe we are Empress is also mother energy. So maybe we're like, this is external, this is what's in front of us. On the internal, I have a feeling we really might be like thinking about family, maybe connecting to our mothers, connecting to our own mothering energy. And this could be like whether we mother friends or whatever we mother, but I call this the God spot. It's like the higher view or the higher perspective. the Two of Cups. This is really, cups are unconditional love. So who can you reach out to in an unconditional way, loving way that loves you unconditionally? And there might be some relationships that are like, that don't feel unconditionally loving, that are ending, but we are giving birth to maybe a new circle of friends. I want to clarify the Six of Cups because it's just kind of weird. Like we're feeling nostalgic, or maybe wanting to, well, ideally in your, I don't know, it's like there, when there's more innocence, there's more just like, yeah, like people love me. I don't know. There's like an assumption there, ideally, that people love you. Card just fell on my cat and scared the shit out of it. Okay, so we got the Hierophant. I mean, the Hierophant is the God card. This is looking up outside of ourselves for wisdom. The High Priestess is the Goddess card, and that's where we look within. And with the God card, we look without, right? So the High Priestess is, in general, the occult. That's where, we sit and meditate and find out, like connect with our inner selves. And then the Hierophant is usually in the regular tarot. I call it the regular tarot, whatever. It's like the Pope card. And so it kind of represents like more organized religion. And this is where we abandon the feminine principle and the masculine principle of like going to church and doing all that and finding all of our information outside of us. Like, I grew up Catholic. I couldn't even talk to God about what the shit I did wrong. I had to go in some weird box and talk to an old man. It was terrifying. It was absolutely fucking terrifying. I swear to God. And then you had to say like 25 Hail Marys and like 10 Our Fathers. I don't know if I ever had to say that many, but anyway, it was really, really terrifying. So yes. Oh, wow. Okay. So I don't even know if this is like inner child stuff. How I was talking about, we're in another dimension, we're picking the plan, we're with our guides, they're hyping us up. And then they might be a little bit like, I don't know if you want to try all that. You're like, no, I want to be born at this time. I want to deal with all that shit. Sorry, you had lofty goals, but I think this is the thinking back to that time, right? Like, just can you get in touch with like, what the fuck were you thinking, dude? What are we doing here? What did we want to do? That's really what I'm picturing. Like, because the Hierophant, it's like the God card, looking up to God. Like, what was I thinking? You really wanted to love people, because that's up in the God spot. You just really wanted to love people. And the death is hard, but behind it came literally Mother Earth, Gaia, the Empress. Like, and death in this deck has a new day. So there's this Plutonian energy of like, I mean, there could be exposure. You could just be feeling really vulnerable, like a child, but you picked this shit. Like, you picked it. And if that doesn't vibe with you, that's okay. That is my deal though. That is my like ultimate kind of belief. And sometimes I think that I need to believe that I picked everything I've gone through, because if I didn't, I don't think I'd want to be here. And like I'm giggling, like I'm fine. But like, if I didn't, if I didn't pick this, I did. I know I did. I look at my birth chart and I've checked back on dates from before I knew how to do predictive astrology and all that. I mean, the day I went to rehab, Uranus opposite Uranus and Pluto square Pluto. And I mean, it's like, it just makes so much sense, you know, or maybe you don't. Anyway, I am rambling. So I want to pull an oracle card. Loyal heart. Maybe we're, if you came here thinking about a person in particular, we've got an echo here. I love when I get echoes. But the Two of Cups and loyal heart. I mean, loyal heart is just unconditional love, being loyal, you know, doing what is best, what is for the highest good of all. Let's see. I'm going to do one of these. And then I'm going to pull some, like, what are potential obstacles? I don't think I've really, I like to pull that kind of card once in a while. Like, as we are going through this weekend, if you're watching in a timely fashion, what are potential obstacles? And then I'll get like a advice card. Trustworthy guidance. That's pretty. So you've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it, knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything that you need related to this idea. I'm sorry, you guys. This whole fucking reading, I'm like crying. It's not sad crying. This whole reading is answering my journal entry that I wrote this morning. And it's fucking wild. Okay. Anyway, you've gotten an idea. Maybe you have asked spirit a question. My eyes. Maybe it's an idea about a person or like a sudden inspiration or something that really speaks to your heart. Sometimes the Two of Cups can represent like business connections or like starting out in business. Like twos are choices, but there's something heartfelt that you want to move towards. It's probably relationships. I mean, usually the Two of Cups are relationships with people, but that can be family, friends, lover, all of those. But I love how the angel is kind of like perched over their shoulder, you know. I don't know if you hear my cat meowing. Okay, so what are potential obstacles, pitfalls? So within all of the shaky ground that we're on, just make sure that you remain open-hearted with the people that you love, and understand that everybody's kind of going through this like ground shaking kind of stuff. King of Wands coming out as an obstacle. This is getting hot-headed, getting angry, jumping into action too quickly. We want to focus on how we feel and not so much act out of anger. Three of Swords, letting our heartbreak get the best of us. You know, if there are hurtful things that come up, she's like screaming, but the Three of Swords can be healing. But I think that's really like just getting lost in the heartbreak. That one went way over there. So the Fool card, I usually love the Fool card. So you're gonna have to know where you are on the spectrum, because the Fool card coming out as an obstacle is either jumping when you're not supposed to because you're scared. You have to check in with your feelings. If you are thinking of jumping into something because you've overthought it and you're like jumping out of the way or you're jumping too quickly, then don't do it. But I think it is more that we're not taking a leap of faith. And that's the obstacle, because the Fool, it represents trust, right? The King of Wands coming out as an obstacle can kind of like be acting out of fear. The Three of Swords, this is the swords are our mind, right? So it can be overthinking it, like being in our heartbreak and overthinking what it is we're supposed to do. But the obstacle is going to be to just take a leap of faith, to trust that you are divinely guided. It fucking, where's that card? Shit, where'd it go? Anyway, you saw it. This one. You got to know if you're hearing an inspiration or something like that. Yes. Okay. And this is coming out for advice. Nine of Swords coming out as an advice card. This is anxiety, overthinking, losing sleep. Do what you can to make sure you're taking good care of your body. Make sure that you're going to bed at a good time. Take a bath to settle you down. The Two of Pentacles, that's juggling. I think it's just going to be intense because these are coming out as advice. But the Two of Pentacles is focus on what you can, what's important. Pick the most significant things over the next few days to focus on and just keep them up in the air. Sometimes with the Two of Pentacles, that's all we're doing. But we do need to like drop anything that is only a distraction. One more for advice. Temperance. Not only does this guy have angel wings, I don't know if you can see that. My light's kind of bright, but temperance, this is remaining balanced. I mean, this is like the opposite of this kind of energy. I'm thinking of the Empress here. You don't go like, oh, I mean, bear with me. You don't go, I'm making a baby. Like you're not working on it. You know what I mean? Not the whole time you're pregnant. You might make some faces. Anyway, we're growing something. Something is growing, and we just have to have faith in that. And I'm not even fucking kidding you. This reading, I just realized, like, answered specific exact questions that I put in my journal today when I was writing. Anyway, now that we are at the end, you are free to bail if you want to, but I just wanted to share something really quick because I know that some of you are not friends with me on Facebook, which I welcome you to do if you would like, but I'm offering some astrology and tarot package deals. It's a lunar report, which is an outline based on where the moon was at the time that you were born. And what that does is it gives us a snapshot of what your month is going to be following the lunar return. That is usually $25. A 1-hour tarot reading is usually $90. I've bundled them for 1 month for $100, and that saves $15. So if you want to kind of like get a lay of the land for the next month or so, that is, and it's a really awesome deal. The report is, it's really uncanny. The people that I do it for are like, holy shit, how do you know this? Anyway, it's very cool. And then 6 months, if you wanted to bundle and pay ahead for that, it would be once a month. That would be $550 for the lunar report and the tarot reading. And then 1 year would be $1,150. And that saves you some moolah. Anywho, and it helps me feed myself and my family. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. This was kind of a weird one. It's kind of a weird hour. It's weird all around. Love ya. Have a weird night on earth. Peace. Namaste.